So let's talk about driver-facing cameras. I know it's a touchy subject with a lot of people, but it is for me too. I mean, as far as, I don't really like them. I'll just tell you that right now. I don't really care for them. I have one from Keep Trucking. The company I'm leased to is going to all of them as far as driver-facing plus outside-facing cameras. Me personally, I don't really care for them. Just not a fan. A lot of people say, especially companies or people at the company say like, oh well, you know, if you have a problem with driver-facing cameras, then you must be doing something wrong. I'm like, no, I mean that's not always the case. Some of us just like our privacy. If I want to pick my nose or something, I don't need it on camera. But me personally, I just feel like they can be used against you a lot more than you know, if you didn't have one. Because if you don't have one, you know, you give up, like if you have an accident or something and you give up your phone records to show that, okay, well, I wasn't on the phone or I was, I mean, whether it is you are or aren't, I don't really know why it would matter. However, I feel like whether you have a driver-facing camera or not, there's going to be a lawyer out there somewhere that's going to nitpick every little thing that you're doing. You know, if I got into an accident, they could say, oh well, you know, even though I'm not even touching my damn camera or I'm not holding it with my hand, I got both hands on the wheel and a camera strapped to my head, they turn around and say, okay, well, that's a distraction, even though it's not. I'm just sitting here talking just as I would sit here and talk to my damn self. But they could use all kinds of stuff against you, as far as, you know, you take a drink of water out of a bottle or something, you know, if you're eating or something like that, anything you do, they could just turn around and say, well, it's, you know, oh, you were distracted, it's distracted driving. You know, if you're not checking your mirrors enough, they could say that. I don't know. It just, the list goes on. And I understand not all companies really like harass their drivers or, you know, or anything like that. But some do. You know, some can use it as, you know, just a tool to go against the driver, regardless of what happens or what they're doing. Just me personally, I don't really care for them. However, it hasn't caused an issue at all so far anyway. Caused an issue yet, but I'm just not a fan of it. And I understand, as much as it can hurt you, I mean, it can also save you. As far as you get into an accident, they can show, okay, well, he was paying attention, you know, he or she, whoever, but show that they were paying attention, they were doing everything that they needed to do, you know, and I definitely understand that. So, to me, it's I mean, it's just like having a dash cam, I guess. It's, you know, it's a double-edged sword. It can help you, it can hurt you. I just feel like the driver-facing side can hurt you a lot more. You know, just in different ways, as far as when I drive, like driving through town, I got my hand on my shifter in case I need to shift real quick. You know, slowing down or something like that. I don't know, it's just, maybe I'm being paranoid, but I just feel like no matter what you do, people can people can use, you know, use that footage against you, but that's just how I feel about it. I know a lot of people don't like them. Like if I had a sleeper, on my truck, you know, I wouldn't mind. Like I wouldn't really care about the driver-facing camera while I'm driving. However, if I have a sleeper, like, I mean, yeah, obviously I would cover it up or, you know, something like that, but because if I'm parked, there's literally no need. If I'm parked, there's no need at all for, you know, for anyone seeing what's in, you know, what's going on inside my cab. So that's just how I feel about it. How do you feel about it? Leave a comment, subscribe, like the video. I never say that stuff in my videos. I don't know, maybe that's why I don't build my channel as much. I don't know, but I just feel weird asking people to subscribe and like my video. I'm like, I figure if you like it, you'll like it. If you want to see more of my stuff, you'll subscribe. Especially when it's like the very beginning of the video, you're 5 seconds into a video and they're like, hey, leave us a like, you know, and go ahead and subscribe. It's like, dude, I haven't even watched your video yet. I don't know if I'm gonna like it or not. I might get 5 minutes into this thing and click off and go to watch something else. But anyway, back on subject. I have a problem with I don't really care for the driver-facing cameras. Mine is just the regular driver-facing camera that Keep Trucking offers. However, Colonial is going to, I believe they're going to, all the new cameras are going to be those AI cameras that can, you know, don't know if you run a stop sign or a red light, or, you know, they'll know if you're not wearing your seatbelt. They'll know if you're texting and driving and stuff like that. But which I really don't care for those, because it can detect if you like run a stop sign, and I never really noticed it until I moved up here to Ohio. There's a lot of roads that have stop signs that are like, I mean, no BS, like they're a good 15 to 20 feet before the line, like where you get up to the road that you're gonna turn onto. And so I already know for a fact that's probably gonna, you know, if I get one of those AI cameras, it's probably gonna trigger that I like keep running stop signs, because I'm gonna pull up to the line instead of, you know, stopping at the stop sign in view of the camera and then pulling up another 15-20 feet. To me, that doesn't make any sense to do that. So but to me, it's one of those things that it sounds great on paper, but in practical use, it doesn't make any damn sense. And I know it'll probably end up like counting against our driver score, or, you know, your safety score with the company. And it's pretty sad that like you can have good drivers that you're following the law, you're doing everything legally, but because the camera thinks that you do, you know, you run a stop sign, or, you know, something like that, just whatever it is, you could be following the law to the T, and then have a a crappy driver score, you know, with your company, or a bad safety score with your company just because the camera thinks you're doing something that you shouldn't be, you know. I don't know. That's kind of how I feel about it. Not a fan of it, but, and I know a lot of other people aren't. But in all seriousness, I mean, comment and tell me what you think about it. I feel like most people would be against it, at least, you know, for the most part. Now, if they could figure out something like as far as those AI cameras to where they're actually picking up stuff if you are actually, you know, doing something wrong, then maybe that's fine, but I don't know. I'm still not a fan of any of it, but that's just me.